All right, we are back in JVC to do a de-snag on my H3 unit. I don't think I'll be able to do it today because one of the things I don't like to do when I'm de-snagging is if the apartment isn't already clean. That's what's frustrating though, but it looks like we're gonna be coming back. All right, we are back in JVC to do a de-snag on my H3 unit located right across the street from Circle Mall. I had gone inside and there was a few items that needed to be fixed. So I'm gonna go inside and see if those issues were remediated and get a final sign off. So we're gonna go check that out right now. I'm inside, I'm waiting. You can see this is a sitting area. Again, there's the mall right across the street. How convenient is that? The design is impeccable. This is the unit that I'm just gonna keep. I'm not gonna resell it. I think the ROI is so high on this one because I bought it off plan that I'm just gonna keep it. It doesn't make sense for me to sell it at this point. And I'm even thinking about reinvesting the proceeds from the sale of my 2-bedroom in JVC, buy another maybe 1-bedroom in H3, even though I'd be paying a premium. Still might be worth it if the ROI calculations still add up. So something I'm still looking at. I've been trying to negotiate with a couple of homeowners right now, but it just needs to make financial sense for me. It's a weird gap area in between from when the developer hasn't fully handed over the building to trying to negotiate a transaction. So it's in between, you know, a pre-title deed and a title deed, which can make it a bit complicated, but I've been through that process, so I know exactly what to watch out for. And the rentals are good. So I actually helped someone secure a 1-bedroom pool-facing 2nd floor, and they just received 2 offers, one for 100,000, 2 checks, one for 105. They'll likely go for the 105. Again, ROI on that is pretty superb, almost 8%. And then if you factor in, you know, leveraged ROI, you know, because I think they took out about 600,000 mortgage on it, that pushes you up to about 9.7%. So really, really good ROI on investment. So let's see. Let's go look at the de-snagging and see how much of it they've completed. I hope I don't have to come back again, but let's see. All right, we're just waiting. Love the elevators, such a clean look. Honestly, the designer did really well. I know what to look for because I actually renovated my entire villa. So I can't imagine, you know, what a whole building would be. Like, I'm sure it's easier when it's like new construction, right? Versus, you know, renovation. Look at that pool. So apparently about 10 units are occupied so far. This is why like intel is so important. So you see that plot over there? A lot of people don't want to live on that side of the building because there's a vacant plot right next to it, which is impacting rentals. And I thought about that even before I bought my unit, because that's lost opportunity. Now, having said that, on the flip side, once all the construction is done, those units might be more valuable depending on, you know, what that building next door looks like and how obstructive it is. Something food for thought, right? Which is lesson learned. Watch out for the open plots. You see an open plot next to you, go figure out who's building, what the timeline is, and how big that building's gonna be. You know, is it gonna be visually obstructive? Are you not gonna have a view anymore? I mean, that could cost you millions of dirhams, especially if you're on the Palm and you have a water view and there's a plot in front of you and it's being built up. I think one example is like in DIFC or near DIFC, Index Tower, there's a huge building that's gonna be built up right in front of it. All those people in that tower, that view, gone. The value of those apartments with those views, I don't know. That's food for thought. Always figure out what your view entails, where the construction is, and whether it's gonna negatively impact the value of your investment. We're in my unit, H3. We're trying to do the de-snag. I don't think I'll be able to do it today because one of the things I don't like to do when I'm de-snagging is if the apartment isn't already clean. It's hard to really, you know, identify the imperfections. So I'll go take a quick look at it, but this is not a de-snagging. I hope I don't have to come back again, but let's see. I'll do another de-snagging. I'll schedule an appointment, but...
I will have cleaning finish. This customer client coming same.
Yeah, I get it, but not when there's glue right there. You see that? That's glue. That's glue, right? That's also, look, what is that? That's also glue. And then you got paint. Paint, paint, paint. Look at this, what is this gap? I would say it's generally okay, but the same issues that I highlighted, right there, look at that.
Okay.
See the glue? Right here, the corners. That's what's frustrating though, is like, if you're gonna do snagging, developers should make sure that the unit is clean before you come in, because then it's just gonna be a waste of time. You can't properly de-snag if the unit isn't clean, because they're gonna say, you know, it just needs to be cleaned, but no, I don't agree with that. Everything else looks pretty much the same. I told them from earlier, it was a lot of like superficial work, but it looks like we're gonna be coming back. Look at this, what is this? What is this? What is that?
Okay, بس كلمني no problem.
Okay. Well, to be continued. We'll come back for another de-snagging because they didn't clean the apartment. So stay tuned. I will come back, but for me, I'm gonna have to send an email saying snagging had to be canceled because the unit isn't clean and there's still a lot of items that need to be addressed. Very superficial, but guess what? I wanna be able to rent out the unit. And so for me to do that, it needs to be in the best condition possible. All right, stay tuned.